Welcome back to the Create Prosperity on Purpose video series. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to accelerate your money intuition. This is all about tapping into your inner knowing, your wisdom of how to be great with money that maybe you haven't been listening to in the past. And it might be helpful for us to just define what intuition really means. I know this conscious community, you probably have a sense of it, but this definition I found just super easy, which is about knowing something without knowing how you know it. It's easy for us to look at other people and say, oh, they're so intuitive, or I could be maybe better at this, but I'm just not. We all have the ability to be intuitive, to hear our higher wisdom, whether wherever you believe that's coming from. You know that I get a lot of intuition from the energy of money, feel like I'm really tapped into that. And you can as well. And there may be other places that you are getting your intuition. And that's the exploration that we're going to be on together today. In business, in life, there's lots of people who've talked about the power of intuition. Steve Jobs is quoted as saying, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow know what you truly want to become. And Albert Einstein is quoted as saying, the intuitive mind is a gift and the rational mind a faithful servant. And I like this for thinking about also how to deal with money. We know we live in a material world and we also live in an ethereal world, and they are both important. If someone is just focused on the material part of things, maybe they have tons of money, but they come home at night and kick their dog and fight with their partner. That doesn't work. And on the other hand, if you have someone who is really tapped into their intuition, uses visualization, has vision boards, and sits on their meditation pillow chanting Om, waiting for the universe to provide and not taking any action in the real physical material world, that doesn't work either. It's when these two are married is when people can really create prosperity on purpose and be great with money. I want to start with a message for money for you. I wrote, hi, money. What message would you like me to share? Please remember that I am sending messages to you all the time. Most people don't listen. It's like they aren't tuned into the right station. With a quick twist of the knob or the dial, you'll hear me loud and clear. The best way for you to be able to receive messages from me is to get quiet. This can be through meditation, through being in nature, and journaling. Please find a way that fits for you. I'm flexible. Ask me questions and listen for the answers. These may come in an inner knowing, a written message, in a symbolic sign, or sign that you hear or see. The next step, of course, is to trust this. If you're not sure, you can certainly ask again. Our communication channels will become stronger and the more you focus on this. As this is our last message in this series, I want you to know how grateful I am that you are here, that you are committed to your growth and learning, and that you are a person making a positive difference in the world. You are a change maker. Whether that's big or small, it's all that matters. And here's a money mantra to take forward. I use money as a force for good in the world. I love that. I use money as a force for good in the world. We know that some people don't. And that prosperity, again, is this condition of success or thriving. And a big way to do that is to see and use money as a positive force in the world. So now we're going to step into a visualization, help you get tapped into that inner knowing a little bit more. So find yourself seated in a way that you can feel relaxed and comfortable. You gently close your eyes or look down with a soft gaze. Begin to notice your breath, noticing an inhale and a longer, slow exhale. Imagine breathing in and out through your heart center. Feel the in-breaths and the out-breaths coming from the area in the center of your chest. Inhaling and exhaling. Now bring to mind a situation, a person, an animal, or a place that you feel great love and appreciation for. And as you think about this, begin to actually feel those feelings of love and appreciation. So you're moving from a thought of something you love and appreciate to a feeling in your body. And as you continue to bring this situation, this person, this thing you love into your consciousness, feel these feelings grow stronger and stronger. As you grow these heart-centered feelings, you're accessing the pathway to your heart's wisdom, to your inner knowing, to your intuition. Continue to breathe in and out from your heart center, feeling love and appreciation growing stronger and stronger. And from this place, ask, inner knowing, what would you like me to call you? What do you want me to know today? Who do you want me to be in touch with? How can I best serve today? And what messages do you have for me? Gently bring your attention back to the seat that you're in, feeling your feet grounded on the floor. When you're ready, gently open your eyes and grab a piece of paper to journal, or you can do this on your computer. You can pause the video in a moment, but to be answering these questions. What would you like me to call you? What do you want me to know today? Who should I be in touch with? And journaling anything else that came to you during this meditation. Okay, and now specifically for today, note what you will be doing. Today I will. And this is about trusting and taking action. Today I will. When we think about intuition, there's some steps that are really helpful in this process. And the first step is to be present. This is to be right here so you can hear your own good intentions. You can hear those messages coming through. So as it was said in the message from Money, it could happen through meditation or walking in nature or just being right here. It's hard to hear over all that chatter. So just getting quiet can be through a few deep presenting breaths to get present. The next step is being aware, noticing what messages come to you. These may come through a knowing, an internal knowing, a voice that you hear, a feeling. It may actually be something that you see and you're paying attention to. The beginning of COVID, when we were all quarantining and staying home, our family did a lot of walking outside. And one day I was walking outside with my husband and our son, and I looked up and this is what I saw. I actually took this picture and the clouds were making a heart shape. And I said, oh my God, Benji, look, who's our son. And he goes, Mom, that's no big deal. And we looked back up and it was gone. So it's easy to miss messages that are coming to us if we're not paying attention. And the more present you are, the more you can see the beauty and the awe and hear those messages that are coming through for you. The next step is to be curious. Wonder what that means. When I think back about times when I got in really difficult situations and didn't listen to my intuition, it's because I didn't follow that curiosity. I can think of several times where I had this feeling like, why is that happening? That's weird. Those were the things I kept saying to myself and then ignored them. Where if I had gone a little deeper and asked more questions, I might have avoided some really difficult situations. And I look back and learn from them. I learned that I need to listen to my intuition more. I had growth that came from those difficult experiences, but it came with that feeling of something's not right. And it could be something feels right and being more curious about that. And the last step is about believing. This is about trusting those messages that you get and listening to that, to your own good intentions, to be believing it and acting on it, practicing to see what comes through for you. So what are some other ways that you can really grow your intuitive skills? Well, one way we've talked about is through meditation, quieting things down, noting your ideas down. When you have a thought that comes through, note it somewhere. I know when I've been working on books or thinking of book titles or ideas for blogs, when I get an idea, I immediately pull out my phone and write a note. Because what I found is those ideas are kind of like a dream. They're there and then they diminish. So the more you can note those ideas down, the better. It's a great habit to get into. Now, sometimes I go back and look at those ideas at the moment they seem brilliant and they're not so brilliant, but sometimes they are great ideas for me to act on. So note them down. Next step is an idea I got from my friend Jen Weigel, which is to create a coincidence journal. So when something synchronistic happens or a coincidence, start to note that and pay attention, and you'll see that those are happening to you more often and more often. Anytime you go, that was funny, in a good way, note that down. Ask questions. You can do this from journaling, like we just did in that exercise. You can do it before you go to sleep. If there's something you're dealing with, you can put that question out, asking for an answer. You can do it during or after meditation. Ask for a question. Give me some solutions. How do I deal with this? What do you want from me today? What's the best thing for me to be focusing on? Listen and watch for messages. This is that being aware, noticing what's coming your way. And last part is practicing. One of the ways I love to practice building my intuition is just figuring out which way to walk or drive home. And there's different ways I can get home from my office. And I'll just say, oh, should I get off at this exit or the next one? Should I turn left or should I keep going straight? All of them will take me home. And I just lean into that. Sometimes I'll realize I've missed hitting a freight train, not hitting actually, but missing getting stuck behind a freight train. Or sometimes I don't even know if it was faster or better, but it feels good to lean into that. And you can do that while you're walking as well. So practice. My main practice of tapping into my intuition and my messages from money is through journaling. I find that I'm just trusting what comes through, whether it's a message for someone I'm delivering it to in a consultation, a message for myself, an idea for a book that I'm writing. I just type and trust. And I've had some really helpful things come through that way. And now I just know this is how my process works. And I encourage you to find your process for tapping into your intuition. Another really helpful step, as Money talked about, is about us being grateful. These are 3 people that I'm extremely grateful for, my husband and our 2 kids. And focusing on gratitude is such a powerful tool. When we think about how it helps us create more prosperity, research has shown that a daily practice of gratitude lowers our stress levels. It raises our happiness level. Grateful people actually make more money. Studies have shown this, and it's also really logical. You don't want to work for a jerk. People that are grateful and express that are people you want to work for and with. Money loves it when you're grateful for it. So think about, in your daily gratitude practice, adding in something really specific that you're grateful for that relates to money. One thing that I do on a regular basis, I just used to do this more when I'd write more checks, but every time I write a check under my name, I write thank you under my signature. I can do that in a memo line now if I'm doing things online, but it's putting this energy of, I'm so grateful I have this money, and sending a wish of abundance and prosperity to whoever's receiving that. If it's a company, may they be prosperous. Thank you for being there to serve me in whatever way I needed you. So please add gratitude into your daily practices and add some way of being grateful for money in that process as well. We know money will appreciate that. And now I'd like you to think about what action you're going to take to get traction. This is the last video in this series. So it could be something on your intuition. Maybe you're going to journal more with money, or just journal in general. Maybe you'll meditate more. Maybe it's something like getting a handle on something you've been ignoring in your personal finances. Or envisioning that perfect meeting before you have it, using those visualization skills. Maybe you're going to create a prosperity picture. There's lots of things we've covered in this series, and I hope you will act on them. Not just hearing something that you think would be good, but taking action each and every day. And it's through this process that I believe you will be creating more prosperity on purpose. So I want to say how grateful I am personally for having the honor to be here with you, that you've watched these videos. And my wish for each and every one of you is a life of lavish abundance.